The Brave Little Turtle. Once upon a time, in a calm and peaceful pond, there lived a little turtle named Timmy. Timmy was the smallest turtle in the pond, and he loved to spend his days swimming in the cool water, sunbathing on the smooth rocks, and chatting with his many friends. Timmy had big, shiny eyes and a green shell that sparkled in the sunlight. But despite his happy life, there was one thing that made Timmy very nervous. He was scared of the dark. When the sun went down and the night sky took over, Timmy would rush back to his cozy little burrow under a large tree and hide inside his shell. He didn't want to see the stars or the moon, and he didn't like the sound of the frogs croaking or the wind rustling the leaves. The dark felt too big and too mysterious for Timmy, so he would close his eyes tightly and wait for morning. One bright summer day, Timmy was swimming in the pond, feeling the warm sun on his back, when his best friend Fred the Frog hopped over to him. "Hey, Timmy!" Fred croaked with excitement, jumping onto a lily pad near the edge of the water. "Tonight is going to be so much fun. Have you heard about the Firefly Festival?" Timmy looked up from the water and blinked. "Firefly Festival?" he asked, tilting his head. "What's that?" Fred's eyes sparkled. "Oh, it's amazing. Every year, all the fireflies in the forest gather near the pond and light up the whole place with their beautiful glow. They dance around, and it's like the stars are coming down to visit us. You should come, Timmy. You'll love it." Timmy frowned. He didn't like being out at night, and the idea of staying up after dark made his tummy feel tight. "I don't know, Fred," Timmy said softly. "You know I don't like the dark. It's scary." Fred hopped closer, his big, friendly eyes full of understanding. "I know, Timmy, but the fireflies are really nice. They light up the night so it's not so dark anymore, and all our friends will be there. Please come with me. I promise I'll stay with you the whole time." Timmy wasn't sure. He wanted to see the fireflies, but the thought of going out at night made him nervous. "I'll think about it," he said, giving Fred a small smile. Later that evening, as the sun began to set, Timmy sat on his favorite rock by the pond, watching the sky change from bright blue to soft pink and orange. The birds were singing their goodnight songs, and the frogs were starting to croak loudly, getting ready for the night. Timmy's friends, like Sally the Swan and Benny the Beaver, were all talking excitedly about the Firefly Festival. Even the fish were splashing happily in the water, eager to see the magical lights. Timmy felt a little sad. He didn't want to miss out on the fun, but his fear of the dark made him want to run and hide. Just as he was about to crawl back to his burrow, he heard a gentle voice above him. "Hello there, little one," said the voice. Timmy looked up and saw Oliver, the wise old owl, sitting on a branch of the big tree that shaded the pond. Oliver had been living in the forest for many, many years, and all the animals respected him because he was very smart and kind. "Hi, Oliver," Timmy said, his voice a little shaky. Oliver flapped his large wings and flew down to land on the rock beside Timmy. "You look worried, young turtle. What's on your mind?" Timmy sighed. "Everyone is going to the Firefly Festival tonight, but I'm scared of the dark. I don't think I can go." Oliver looked at Timmy with his wise, golden eyes. "Ah, I see," he said softly. "The dark can seem frightening, especially when we don't know what's in it. But sometimes, the things we fear are not as scary as we think." Timmy tilted his head. "What do you mean?" Oliver smiled kindly. "The night is like a blanket that covers the world, but it's not an empty blanket. There are many wonderful things in the dark if you're brave enough to see them. The moon, the stars, and even the fireflies all come out at night to show us their beauty. You don't have to be afraid, Timmy. You just have to look for the light." Timmy thought about what Oliver said. He had never really looked at the night before because he was always too busy hiding. Maybe there was something beautiful out there that he was missing. Oliver stretched his wings and gave Timmy a soft nudge. "Why don't you come with me, Timmy? I'll show you that the dark isn't so scary." Timmy hesitated for a moment, But then he remembered Fred's excitement and how much he wanted to see the fireflies. Taking a deep breath, he nodded. "Okay, I'll try." Oliver smiled. "That's the spirit!" As the last rays of sunlight disappeared and the sky turned a deep shade of blue, Timmy and Oliver slowly made their way to the edge of the pond where the other animals were gathered. Timmy's heart was pounding in his chest, but he tried to stay brave. Just as they arrived, something magical happened. Tiny, glowing lights began to appear all around them, flickering like little stars in the night. "Look, Timmy," Fred said, hopping over excitedly. "The fireflies are here!" Timmy gasped as he watched the fireflies float gracefully in the air, their soft golden light filling the dark sky. They danced and twirled, lighting up the trees, the pond, and even the faces of his friends. "It's beautiful," Timmy whispered. The dark didn't feel so big and scary anymore. In fact, it felt cozy and peaceful, with the fireflies lighting the way. Oliver smiled from his perch on a tree branch. "You see, Timmy, the dark has its own kind of magic." Timmy nodded, his fear slowly melting away. He looked around and saw all his friends enjoying the festival. Sally the swan was gliding gracefully on the pond, her white feathers glowing in the light of the fireflies. Benny the beaver was busy making little splashes in the water, and even the frogs were hopping around happily, their croaks mixing with the soft hum of the fireflies. Fred sat down beside Timmy and smiled. "I'm really glad you came, Timmy. Aren't the fireflies amazing?" Timmy smiled back. "They are. I'm glad I came too. The dark isn't so scary after all." As the night went on, Timmy and his friends played games, told stories, and watched the fireflies dance above the pond. Timmy even swam in the water, feeling braver than he had ever felt before. When the festival was over and it was time to go home, Timmy looked up at the sky. The moon was shining brightly, and the stars twinkled down at him. He realized that the night was full of wonders he had never noticed before. From that day on, Timmy wasn't afraid of the dark anymore. He had learned that even in the darkest times, there is always a light to be found, whether it's the glow of the fireflies or the kindness of a friend. And every night, when the fireflies returned to the pond, Timmy would watch them dance and smile, knowing that he was brave enough to enjoy the beauty of the night. From that day on, Timmy wasn't afraid of the dark anymore. He had learned that even in the darkest times, there is always a light to be found, whether it's the glow of the fireflies or the kindness of a friend. And every night, when the fireflies returned to the pond, Timmy would watch them dance and smile, knowing that he was brave enough to enjoy the beauty of the night. The end. Thanks for joining us on this journey with StoryPath. If you enjoyed learning English through stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new story. Ready to take the next step on your English learning path? Stick with us and let's keep learning together.